Welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown, where we discuss, analyze, and configure some good picks, props, and predictions for the matches or the games coming up for the day. Today, for NBA slate, we're going to be involved in two games. New York Knicks at the Pacers at Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. All right. So it's an early game on a Sunday, which is today. Sunday the 12th of May. So if you guys are going to listen and get ready for your bets, you better get ready for your bets soon because time's going to start popping off the Pacers game early on. It's going to be fun. Right now, we have the Pacers at home. Oh, wait. I'm about to give you some numbers, but I forgot I changed my settings to not accommodate for everyone else in a moment. FanDuel has the Pacers at negative 215 for money line. Best odds for New York at the current time for this, I think 12 o'clock. Is it 12 o'clock? 12:10. 12:10. All right. ESPN bets has a plus 185 for New York Knicks. Your spread of 5.5 negative for Indy at negative 108 at FanDuel, or the positive for New York at negative 110 at DraftKings, with an over/under of 218.5. Whoo boy. So, going to this is what, game 4? Let me check over real quick to make sure game 4. Yeah. Knicks lead series 2-1. Game 4. This is going to be a big deciding point for this series, because either it's going to be super beneficial for one team and super detrimental for the other team, or things are going to be back at neutral ground, per se. Until you take into consideration the travel time and the way, the home team, blah, 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 blah. So, right now, Pacers at home, they won like they did last time. They didn't win it by as much as I expected them to win by, but they won nonetheless. Pacers are still that offensively heavy team, one of the highest scorers in the league. Ooh. Okay, so OG is out. Anunoby, Bojan's season. Charlie Brown's out. Oh, but Rob's out for the season now too. Okay, so he's out. So what? Dwayne Washington and Halliburton is. Oh, that's the third one. Didn't see that coming. Aaron Nesmith. He is a game time decision too. Game time decision for Halliburton and Aaron. Interesting. That just changed some things in regards to the play out. I mean, right now we're being relatively close to start time. So trying to see. Unfortunately, I have nothing else further information in regards to if things change. I mean, about saying who's going to play, who's not going to play. Okay, so I expect everyone to play. Everyone who can play starter-wise is going to be there. Nesmith may not be there, but we'll see what happens. Halliburton, even though he's always GGD, basically, right now. So, that being said, the biggest people to worry about, because New York is playing like an 8-man rotation, is going to be DiVincenzo and his scoring capabilities, with the Brunson and his scoring capabilities, and there's one more there. Got the boy's name. Excuse me. Josh Hart. There you go. I didn't see it over here. I just think about that. So, yeah, Josh Hart. So, those three being the biggest guys are going to be doing the heavy lifting for the Knicks. The Knicks are playing a one-man rotation. I'm sorry, as I said, a 7 to 8-man rotation. So, not to be people come with the bench. And the starters are all playing almost the entire game, basically. So, those are the biggest things to not worry about, but nothing's changed over that side. Pacer side, things could change depending on what happens with Nesmith and how his legs feeling. So he might have a few lower minutes, potentially. Halliburton, like I said, right now, the way they're playing, I expect Halliburton to be taking the brunt of the shots again, because that's working better than what it was. They're having Pascal Siakam run the offense down there. Considering the fact that now that I'm more in tune with this a little bit better with the team, Hartenstein being down low probably stopping Pascal Siakam from actually running the paint. I was just looking into that. So I'm actually curious about that now. Well, how many paint points you're getting because of that down low. Because Brunson doesn't matter. Brunson does a bunch of things nonstop. The only reason why he had a gap in his over point usage, over point stats, is because of that. He took a quarter off. Otherwise, he hit it every single time. So that being said, all that jive going into this talk, we're looking at nothing changed. Like I said, I'm still favoring Pacers to be the better team in the series. Sorry, to win the series. Even though overall, Knicks are better composed as a team. Pacers just dictate everything. That's the biggest thing about that. Like, if the Wizards had the capability of scoring that the Pacers have, the Wizards would be here instead. Not instead, but they would be here as well. Because the fact that they just had a higher pace, they were running the pace. After Pacers got off being number one pace, Wizards stepped in. The Wizards just bad scorers, you know? They was a high pace. Pacers are dictating the pace in this game, every single game. Because Knicks are the slowest team in the league, bar none, right? And yet they're playing at a high pace, just because of pace. You know what I'm saying? But they're not trying to dictate and control things. They could try to slow things down, but did not at all. Everything comes down to the points and the scoring. However, they did not hit the over last game, which was unexpected. Hurt my heart because that actually broke my whole parlay. Well, one part of it broke my parlay, but that being said, though, I do foresee nothing going to change. Nothing that has not happened so far this far. Only game that was different was game 1. Game 2 and 3, aside from the injury happening, every game has basically been exactly the same. Small, minute intricacies that people who aren't following the basketball scene may or may not be aware of, but the small things are what's changing. Or nothing's changing. Everything's playing exactly the same. Everything being close. Just about how much scoring and how much missing is happening. By defensive purposes being there. Like I said, I'm still favoring the Pacers. Nothing changed there. Pacers are at home. I still favor the Pacers, just like the books are saying here with it being negative 5.5. Because even the Knicks didn't have a higher than 4-point spread for the Pacers being there. But Pacers actually have that 5.5 that's been the constant right now. So I don't know if I feel froggy enough to go with the negative 5.5. The odds are better there, obviously. Considering the fact that, let me look at this real quick. Considering the fact that the last 2 games, 3 games, let's go all 3 games, you know what I'm saying? I get it, we're right here. First game, Pacers lost by 4. I said they were -3 favorites for the Knicks. Knicks were -3 favorites. The next game were -3 or -4.5 favorites, 4 favorites, if I recall correctly. And they won by 9. That was, again, like I said, the unexpected part. That happens though. And then last game was 5-point favorites, which they started yesterday at -4.5. So every time here, like in this situation here, like I said, those spreads have been necessarily right there. Like I said, I don't know if I feel confident right now with the Pacers actually potentially going higher than -6 points, winning by 6 points. But do I feel the Knicks are going to be +5 or 4? That's the thing is that I like DiVincenzo. He's been doing what he's been doing. He's been consistently that other guy to help carry the Knicks up and over. But he also has not been necessarily been a consistently reliable scorer until the last 2 or 3 games, if I recall correctly. Let me pull this up exactly because I don't want to be seeing these numbers and I'll be completely blowing shit on my ass for you guys. And that's not what I want to do. Try to be as consistent as possible, right? So let me see how many minutes he played. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so for being over, okay. His minutes ramped up. That's been the biggest thing that changed. So in the Philly series, when he was playing there, his minutes were averaging about 27 minutes per game. First game was 24 and a half. Next game was 37.2. 28.3, 28.2, 25.7, all right? So every game that's actually 28 minutes or less, he scored less than 9 points. 9 points or less. The 32-minute game, he scored 19. So this could be the biggest thing for her. Now, since they've been playing him more, the first game, last game in Philly, he played 48 minutes, got 23 points. Enter this series now. So this is what's been the case. He's actually been getting consistent minutes. 43.7, 43.6, 43.9, last 3 games. And every time he was scoring 25 points, 28 points, 35 points, respectively, okay? So if they're going to keep him at this current setting, at this current stage where he's able to offset things, 23.5 over is something that we should be looking at. If you don't want to go with over, then you got to add on like his assists or rebounds, whatever, but that's when you guys right now, I'm not looking the information up because I'm actually more interested in his points than anything else. Because he's one of the focal points right now for scoring. So in that regards, I'm gonna take note of that too. Let me just put that right there, bink, so I don't miss that from my parlay later on. So that there's actually very good information. Like I said, so he's gonna be a focal point in regards to for them scoring the points. Excuse me. So that's not gonna. I don't see that changing because they need to keep up with the Knicks, as with the Pacers, and the Pacers aren't playing enough defense to prevent him from scoring. So that's a recipe for great success. All right. I said nothing's gonna change. As of right now, for the past 3 games, he was over his line. So keep a look over his line. On line at 23.5 right now. So keep at that. If you want to go down, you can adjust it for a little bit to pay a little more vig and have that line be a little lower to make sure he gets that, But unless barring some injury, something like that, he's going to be there scoring points. So keep that in mind. I don't foresee Knicks taking his dub at home. I mean, if it happens, it happens. These guys, clutch master Brunson over there can always decide, change things, take over. But we'll see what happens. Favoring the Pacers, I am recommending for you guys to parlay, especially because I'm doing the parlay thing, the money line, the negative 215 is what I favor with the over of 218.5. With the over 218.5. Going to the next one, we have the Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're playing as well today, and Timberwolves are again obviously the favorites. But not by much, though, since you see what happened to him last time. That completely adjusted the numbers for what's going to be going forward. Because everyone's a little worried now. Everyone's a little worried. They're not sure if the Nuggets made the proper adjustments to see what happens. Like I said, I discussed that heavily in the last recap I did for the NBA, for this matchup last time. The adjustments that were made by the Nuggets, they were phenomenal. And they made Timberwolves look like amateurs to some degree. They completely change the rhythm. And change the rhythm, completely change the dance flow. And the dance flow messes up, you know what I'm saying? And the whole party shuts down. That's how it works out, right? Right now, Minnesota Timberwolves are favorites at negative 142 DraftKings. Catch that. Or you catch the Denver side if you want to play that, plus 126 at FanDuel. We have over under a 2.5, spread of 2.5. Minnesota favorite, negative 110 at DraftKings. Or you catch the positive of Denver at plus 100 at ESPN Bet. But over under 204.5. So the biggest thing about here is what level of defensive capabilities are going to be happening here. Last game, Jamal Murray was off. He was uncuffed, and so he went to work. He scored 22 points the first half. So that was one of the biggest things. Okay. So going into that right there, is the Minnesota Timberwolves going to be doing enough defensively to prevent Jamal Murray from having his way with them? Because after he started having his way, then Nikola Jokic started having his way. And Nikola Jokic started having his way, then Porter started having his way. So that's exactly what happened for everything happened there. So with that being said, are the Timberwolves going to make enough adjustments defensively to put everyone back on lockdown or to play things a lot better? Considering the fact they know what they did differently was the fact that they had to have people play different space speed in regards to trying to accommodate for that happening. So with that being said, if Timberwolves are able to make sure that they actually have things happen for defense, I expect them to be able to take this game back under control, especially being in front of the home crowd and the way things happen. As I said before, though, this series so far has been an away game series. It's been an away game series. First 2 games were won by the away team. The last game was won by the away team. Can the Timberwolves break that cycle right now? If they don't break the cycle, this is actually a very important game, right? Very important game. If the Timberwolves do not break the cycle right now, then it goes 2-2. And unfortunately, 2-2 being a situation, we are back to neutral to some degree with more information, more experience, and more adjustments being made. If the Denver Nuggets are able to win this game, this whole series might go completely different. And expectation of the Timberwolves winning this series and potentially winning the chip go completely out the window. Completely out the window if the Nuggets win tonight. Or at least the optimism of that being the case. So, with that being the case, Timberwolves know this is a very important game to win. AE knows that he felt so bad for letting things change the way it happened last time. So I'm pretty sure him as a person and him as a leader are going to be doing things, saying things inside the locker room to get people hyped up. Get the cap going on and blah, 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 this. So this game is going to be a very pivotal game. A very pivotal game. And depending on what happens to both sides, the adjustments being made. Because the Nuggets adjustments have been made after the fact. After they took one hell of a beating for game 2. Well, game 1 and 2, but game 2 was way different. The adjustments after that were made after the fact. So going to game 3, they made adjustments for that. And the adjustment for that, like going back with the tape, the Timberwolves were unable to make the adjustments for that mid-game. And then after that point in time, it's a domino effect. They wanted to make the adjustments, so that brings the player morale down, the team morale down, and then the shooting goes off, and the defense goes down, and all the good job and jazz. The adjustment being made here, I don't foresee the Nuggets making adjustments to what they did last time because it worked. And if it's working, you don't want to make adjustments like that unless you have a plan B or C already in line to prevent the Timberwolves from taking too far of an advantage going forward. If the Timberwolves are able to get the defense back under control and control the offense and mix things up back again, they win the series. Or they win this game. And winning this game is probably going to end the series. Whoever wins this game today is probably going to win the series. That's exactly what it comes down to. So, we'll see what happens with this. I'm not changing my pick. Because I literally, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that I'm actually that biased and blind that I can't change my pick midway through when my team is definitely losing. I'm not saying my team, but the bet I have betting on and my predictions is that the Timberwolves going to win this. If the Nuggets come back, like I said, if the Nuggets win tonight, Nuggets will probably win the series. Point blank and period. So if you're feeling froggy and you're feeling like the Nuggets, if you're on Team Nuggets, you should probably bet them to win the series right now when there's still favorable odds for them to come back and win. Because after they win this, if they win tonight, those odds drop drastically, and it's not going to be as financially beneficial to do so. But again, I'm still in Team Timberwolves right now. I still have my future money line bet going. Then cash it out. So we're going to see what happens here. We're going to ride this wave out, see what's going on. Tonight, I said I'm still favoring Timberwolves because they're important to this. Nuggets don't want to lose, but Timberwolves were stifling for a reason 2 times. Not just 1, 2 times. All right? The Nuggets did it 1 time. And so the thing is, the Nuggets, they didn't stifle the defensive capabilities. So the defensive capabilities of the Timberwolves by doing something different defensively. They weren't doing that. They were just adjusting the timing for them offensively, which threw everything else off. So we'll see what happens going forward with this. I'm still favoring the Timberwolves win tonight. Is it that big of a difference? I mean, for a parlay, it's not that big of a difference. For a straight money line bet, I would tell you guys to do, if you're trying to do straight bets, negative 2.5, Minnesota is what I'm leaning towards. But for the parlay, though, I'm not even playing the points or the playing spread. I'm going to just do that negative 142 with the over 204.5. Defenses, do I really want to do that, though? With 204.5, I mean, the only reason why 204.5 hit last time because the starters came out towards the end of the game. And so the other people who were irrelevant, the other bench members, not irrelevant, they were scoring points. That's the only reason why they actually hit the over. Otherwise, that would have been an under game. If this game is competitive the entire time, it should be an under 204.5. It should be a low-scoring game, a lot of missed shots, and a lot of quick rebounds, that kind of stuff. So, honestly, I'm expecting it to be another highly defensive game. Low scoring, except for like two people. Maybe AE, and not Jamal Murray. It's going to be Aaron Gordon again. Maybe MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. But I expect that only two people will probably be over points. Will probably be over 22 points. Unless Cat is also over 20 points. But yeah, so going into this parlay for tonight, my expectation going into this is going to be, the parlay I'm doing today, negative 215 Pacers with the over 218.5. And what I say, the Minnesota money line with, I gotta be right. I gotta be super accurate for this one. With the 204.5 under. With the 204.5 under. That's the play. Pacers money line. Over 218.5. Money line, Minnesota, under 204.5. That's the parlay plan for today. Guys, let's go out there and make this money. Tonight, today, happy gambling grinders. Make a wish. Out.